Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Beast Boy from Teen Titans. So let's start with the eye on the right, with the upper eyelid, starting from the inside and drawing a curve to the outside. From here, let's draw the pupil. So it's a big round circle, but it gets tucked underneath the eyelid. So starting on the inside, we'll go around and up on the right side. We'll draw a big highlight over here with a circle. This gets tucked in. And then behind this, we're going to draw the little pupil or the iris inside. So a little circle and color that in black. Underneath this eye, we're going to draw a slightly straight line, maybe a little bit of a curve, just underneath, like so. Let's draw the eyebrow. So we're going to have this eyebrow raised. So starting on the inside here, we're just going to draw a curve that goes up and then down the outside. We're going to thicken this up as we get to the center here. So starting up here, we're going to taper up to a point. And then we're going to draw a straight line to the outside of that eyebrow. We'll color this all in black. Let's go to the nose. So right here, I'm going to imagine this line coming down this way. We draw a curve, a slight curve down this way, and a straight line going outwards. From here, we're going to draw the nostrils. So right about here, I'm going to draw two angled lines, one going outwards this way, and the other going the opposite direction. Let's draw the other eye. Now, with this eye on the left, I want to make sure I get the height of the eyelash or the upper eyelid at the same height. So I'm just going to start on the outside and draw a curve that goes up and then down. Let's draw that pupil. So again, I want to make sure that that pupil is the same size as on the right. So starting on the left side, I'll just come around with a big circle that gets tucked underneath the eyelid. Draw a big highlight on the left side, and then we'll draw the iris and color that in black. Now let's draw that bottom eyelid. Right here, I'm just going to raise this a little bit higher than on the right and just kind of touch that eye. Let's draw the eyebrow. So here, I'm just going to draw a curve that goes from the outside right into the inside. So the eyebrow on this side is going to be lower. Starting up here, I'm going to curve right into the eye like that. And from here, I'm just going to draw a straight line going up to the peak of the eyebrow and then curving down to the front of the eyebrow. And then I'm going to color all this in black. Now for a little bit of a frown, I'm going to draw a little wrinkle here. So up here, I'm just going to draw a straight line to the middle of the face and just hook this around like so. Let's get down to the mouth. So I'm going to have a big grin on him. So start on the middle and draw a curve. He's down. Now on the side here, I'm going to curve up. On the left, I'm going to curve up a little bit higher. And I'll just put a little bracket on either end like so. Let's draw a little fang. So here I'm going to curve up and then taper down. Now for the face, the bottom of the chin is quite round, so it's just a curve like this. This side we're going to go straight up. This side, because we're going to give it a little bit of profile, we're going to aim the face a little bit that way. So starting on the profile side on this side, I'm going to start on the top of the face and just curve out towards the cheeks. And on this side, I'm going to draw a straight line. So right about here, just outside of that eyebrow, I'm just going to draw a straight line coming down. Now I want to connect these two pieces with a curved line. But I want it to be gradual. I don't want to do a sharp turn on either side. I want to kind of round them out. So the chin, I'll come down to right about where my finger is here. So I'm going to curve around. So I'm going to take my time with this. On this side, I'm going to round out that cheek like so. I'm going to connect them with a curve, just like that. Now let's get into the ears. So on this side, right about where the eyebrow starts, I'm going to draw a straight line angled out. From here, I'm just going to curve this right into the face. So let's go to the right side and do the same thing. So straight line going out. I'm going to tuck this in underneath that cheek. And for a little bit of ear detail, up here I'm going to draw a curve. And then I'm just going to draw a reverse curve on the inside. Over here, let's draw a curve going out. And then overlapping little ear detail like so. Let's get into the hair. So we're going to draw the inner part of the hairline first before we do the outside. So here, I'm going to draw a curve going in and then jagging backwards. Now here, I'm going to have some hairs kind of going over the forehead here. So let's draw a curve going around like so. From here, I'll curve up. I'm going to do this a couple times across the forehead, this, and then I'll just close it up by hitting that line right there. On either side, I'm going to leave a little bit of space and go straight up on this side. This side I'm going to curve out, following sort of the contour of that face. Now the hair is sort of brushed this way, so I'm going to have a couple of jagged lines going this way. So here, I'm going to go up to a point. Now there's about 5 points across this way. And I don't want to make the hair too high, So I'm just going to make sure I just watch how high I go. So I'm just going to do a series of little jigs. So I'm just kind of going back and forth, little zigzag, and up to this point in the middle. I'll just draw a curve like that. Now to a point right about here, like so. I'll do one more and then just finish off at the side there. Okay, so we got the face. Let's get into the body. But now, before I get into the body, I'm going to draw the things that are in front, in the foreground, so I can layer the stuff behind it. So let's start with the hands. So the hands I'm going to have out. So let's start with the one on the left, and I'm going to make this hand really simple. So let's start with the thumb first. So because the hand's like this, we're going to see that part of the thumb. So let's draw an oval, sort of at an angle, like that. So again, we're making a very simplified hand. So from here, I'm going to go about halfway and curve up. From this point, now you can see I'm doing this side of the hand. I'm going to draw that finger. So to make it look like it's wrapping around, I'm going to curve the top of the knuckle and just kind of come in like that. Let's do that again. On this side, I'm going to curve up and round out and tuck this in sort of like that. Do that again. So here I'm going to go up, and round out, and tuck this finger underneath. And finally, for the pinky, I'm going to go out and just wrap that around like so. Now to do the part right here on the hand, start right about here on the thumb and go up. I'll do an overlap and tuck this underneath the pinky. Now for a little bit of detail, I can just draw a little line like that, a little curve, just to show that part of the hand there. Now let's get to the wrist. So the cuff of the glove, I'm going to draw a curve going out. And I'm just going to do a curve, a big round curve, tucking in underneath the hand. So now we got the hands. Let's go to the one on the right. We're going to do the exact same thing, but flip this over this way. So starting with an oval for the thumb. Now we're going to get into this side and work our way around. So again, we're going to go around halfway down the thumb, curve up, and wrap that first part of the finger like that. Go up here, about halfway down this finger part, curve up, and around. And right about here, we're going to go out. Just kind of swirl this finger around like so. And this is probably the easiest way to make sort of cartoon hands, like that. And then right here, like I did on this side, I'm going to wrap this line up, do a overlap here, curve this underneath like so, and just draw a little curve for some hand detail there. And again, so from the outside of the pinky, so right about here, we're going to do a curve going out, and then rounding this out and tucking this underneath the thumb. Okay, so now we got the position of the hands, and now we can start layering in the body. Let's draw the shoulders first. So here, I'm going to have the shoulders sort of shrugged a little bit on that side, and on this side as well. Now we're going to get right into the forearm here. So here, I'm going to draw a curve for the forearm going into the bicep. Here, I'm going to draw a curve like that, into the elbow, and then going up into the armpit. Here, let's do the same thing. So here, I'm going to draw the forearm, do a little overlap, tuck this in behind that shoulder. Here, let's draw the back of the forearm, and going in to the armpit like that. Now we got the chest coming down to the waist. So right about here is where I want to locate the waist. So on this side, I'm just going to do an overlap underneath this armpit and just curve the back. And up here, I'm just going to curve the front. Let's get into some belt details. So here I'm going to draw the circle for the center of the belt and draw a smaller circle inside for some detail. Either side I'm going to draw a straight line, just leaving a little bit of a gap. A little straight line like that. This side up here I'm going to curve up, curve this side as well, and then just finish it off with a line. So you can see that extended belt line beyond this line here for the back. I'm just going to close this gap off. I'm going to split this box into half. Here I'm going to go across, come down, and close that out. And because he's sort of facing that way, I'm going to kind of make that box split a little bit different here. Okay, now let's get into a little bit of a stripe down the shirt. So here on the shoulder, comes down to that point in that belt. I'm going to curve down this. Over here, I'm going to start on this side of the face and curve down like so. Okay, so we got the base of the body and the head. Let's get into the legs. Here, I'm going to have this leg bent. I have this leg bent, but this leg here, they're going to be kind of like he's almost running. So I'm going to start here and just draw a little wrinkle line like that. I can draw probably another wrinkle like that. So you can see that the leg comes up and the pants will sort of wrinkle here. here on this side, draw a line coming out, starting the hips, and to the knee. So the knee I want quite long, so right about here. We curve the upper part of the thigh, and we're going to square off that knee. Now again, we're going to go right into the hips like this. So we're going to draw a line like this, leave a little bit of a break, and go straight into the lower torso. From here, I'm going to do an overlap. So coming back from the knee, I'm just doing a curve like that for the calf. Let's draw the boots. So from here, I'm just going to simplify the boot. So we're going to come in a little bit and draw the cuff of the boot, like so. If you want, you can draw a little bit of a wrinkle like that. Now from here, let's draw in the shoe. So from here, let's draw the back of the heel first. I'm going to curve in, and curve out, and then from here, we're going to round out the toe. So from here, let's round out the toe like that. Now all I want to do here now is just trace the outer part of that shoe for the sole. I'm going to start at the front here, curve around like so, curve this way, curve that way, and then just finish off the back. And the reason why I didn't do it on this side is because the shoe's sort of aimed that way, so it's almost creating this perspective effect here. Let's draw a little bit of detail in the shoe, a little curve like that here. Over here I'm just going to draw a little bit of a toe cap, so, and here we'll just round out just for some laces on the front here. Let's go to this leg this way. So we're going to draw the thigh up to the knee, which would be right about here. So let's draw the upper part of the thigh first. So curve going up, and then sort of switching gears. So we're going to curve in the opposite direction to the knee, and we're going to square off the knee like that. For here, for the bottom, the back side of the thigh, we're going to start right about here. Just going to curve out like that. And before I forget, I'm going to draw the separation for the pants. So here, about mid-thigh, I'm going to draw a curve this way. And on this side, I'm going to draw a curve going this way, like that. Let's go into the ankle. So from here, I'm going to draw a straight line going in towards the direction of the ankle. I'm going to curve out, and then I'm going to curve back in the direction towards my finger. From here, all I want to do is create a curve like that, and then turn back in that direction there. Let's round up the top of the boot cuff, so this way like this. For now, we're going to start with that. And this is going to get a little bit tricky because you got the boot cuff, you got the boot, and then you got the sole. That sort of gets stacked up that way. So I'm going to try to do this in a way that makes it a little bit easier. So let's start with the sole. So here, I'm going to just draw a simple sole. So we're going to see the bottom of the foot. Starting on the inside, I'm going to put a point there. Draw a curve, and it comes around like this. And from here, I'm just going to curve around and meet up with that point right there. And now we can double up. So just to make it look like it's got some perspective, we're going to see this edge side of the sole. So we're going to curve around like this. And we're going to curve around here. Now look, I sort of overlapped here, but that's okay. I'm just going to curve around like that. Now from here, in the back of the sole, I'm just going to curve up. From here, I'm going to do a little overlap. The curve like so. Here I'm going to come down, do a straight line out, and a curve up to meet that point like that. So that's probably a pretty easy way to do the bottom of the shoe. And then for the tread, all you need to do is here in the middle, I'm going to draw a little oval like this. On the inside, we draw the same oval, and on this side here, we draw the same oval. And the reason why I started with the middle is just to kind of space this out evenly. Draw the center part of the paw, we'll draw a big shape like that, and then for the heel here, we'll draw a little oval, kind of like that. That's not too bad. Anyways, there we have it. There's Beast Boy from Teen Titans. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please give us a like and share this with your friends. And if you get a chance, come visit our website at www.cartooningforkids.com. I've just started the website. We're going to get a lot more stuff in there for you. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.